All right. And then the last positive takeaway I had, the curbing of cancel culture and some kind of sense that we can have real freedom of speech again. I think this was the main reason why you had guys like Musk and RFK Jr. again and other social liberals come over to the Trump team, is because these guys, Joe Rogan's a perfect example, right? I mean, this just cancel culture needs to die. And I think a lot of liberals, especially like, in the entertainment industry, the Bill Maher's of the world, um, this is what they're afraid of. This is why they started moving closer and over to Trump, is because nobody's worried about under Trump being afraid of saying what they want to say, right? Nobody's fearful of not being able to speak their mind under a Donald Trump presidency. But under Biden, under Harris, it would have been, who knows, right?
Since election, it's interesting. I have never before have come across someone who has so positively and with so confidence said, or even wore a MAGA hat and just walked around. Just I'm seeing people just now speaking their mind. Earlier I would see that no one, they were really scared. Some people to do that. That they were even declaring as to who they voted for and why they voted for. So I think there is definitely a shift that's happened there.
And that goes back to that second point too, where, I mean, and I'm going back before Biden. This goes back a ways that under a Democrat-led government, right, the Democrat Party, there's always this sense of, having to suppress what you believe is true. Keep it to yourself. Keep it private. Don't speak out. And again, back to Joe Scarborough. Joe Scarborough made the same point on that the same panel discussion he was having on his show, that when he talks to Democrats who have college-age kids and they'd be over for dinner, and this is a point he makes. We'll link to the clip, that he'll ask, like, how are your kids doing at college? And the kids, he's like, these kids are afraid. And these are children of Democrats. They're afraid to speak their mind in the classroom because of academic ramifications. And then because, just getting like doxxed on social media. I mean, so people are just fearful of cancel culture now. And Trump is exploding that. He's just,
Well, this actually is a corollary from takeaway number one. If again, remember the structure. Remember what I said. We have the cultural elite. The cultural elite are not necessarily smarter than the rest of us. They have to echo what they've been taught, because if the ones in power, the professors, first of all, in schools, flunk them out, and they have to go to, God forbid, a state school, then they're not going to get the best opportunities to make their 6.5-figure salaries every year. So it starts there, and the tacit assumption is, because those people are smarter than me, then I don't want to look dumb. I better parrot what they say, because otherwise people are going to think I'm just part of that rabble, that lower class, that derisive case kind of idea. So that's where it starts. And cancel culture only works if that facade is maintained, if that power structure continues, where you can intimidate from the top down, because then you have a small cadre of individuals who are telling everybody these are the approved and understood belief systems.
Yeah.
What we've seen, because and the biggest loser in all of this, and everybody is saying it, is major media. Nobody holds major media as realistic or reflective of reality any longer. Yeah. Joe Rogan and podcasting was a much more effective vehicle for Trump's than going on any interview for ABC or NBC or any of those types of things. Even the debates, it just simply reinforced what you wanted, whatever side you were already beholden to. So because that's now true, we face different problems. You still have to overcome the algorithm, right? The algorithm in social media will only feed you the most, outlandish and extreme versions of your position. And that's what you continue to hear over and over again. So now you start to believe that that's the common consensus, and maybe that's where I should go. And so algorithms are always going to be a problem in that, and you have to rise above them. But there are options. Some people, for example, they look at Musk's purchase of Twitter, right? Musk bought it for $44 billion. That's a lot of money. It's currently valued at $9.4 billion. And a lot of folks are saying, you see, Musk's investors, man, they lost a ton. That was a terrible purchase. And somebody else came back and said, oh, I don't know, $44 billion. And what did he get back? 3 branches of government. Sounds like a pretty good buy to me. So, it's right. I think that's a little tongue in cheek, but yeah, if X wasn't there bringing a counter narrative, and X is, as he pointed out, the single most used and accessed news source of information of all of the different medias. More people get their initial reactions and news from X than they do anywhere else. So now you at least have both left and right using the same vehicle, and you can compare them. I mean, at least it exists, and that's much harder to cancel.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. As much as they tried, but I think it's like, you only have to look at Trump's own speaking to know that he's not going to try and cancel anybody's speech.